Hi, Debbie Zeta here. I work as a spiritual life and business coach. I wanted to focus today's video on how to have a heart orgasm. So the reason that I'm using the word orgasm is pretty much for the basic understanding that I think people will be drawn to that word because it is something that we all find pleasurable and want to have more of, and it has a lot of power in it. The fact of the matter is that it's really just a way to have people understand what's going on right now around us in April, and to be able to have more love in their lives rather than the fear that is going on right now. So I want to pause for a second and talk really quickly about love and fear, which is a concept that I know most of you are very familiar with. So when you're living in fear, you're predominantly living in your head. You're living in your ego, and you're living in your thoughts and your emotions, and you're allowing those to take over your body and your mind and every other part of you. When you're living in love, you're living from your heart. And so the simple matter of the fact is that if you can bring yourself back into your heart and connect to that part of you, that core part of your heart, that is where all of the healing and all of the love comes from. And that is where that feeling of that orgasm comes in. So I want you to try and exercise for me, which is that every time you are doing something that is pleasurable, so you're making love, you're painting, you're going for a beautiful walk, whatever it is that you're doing, I want you to focus on wherever your energy is. And notice that it most probably is in your heart. It might be in some of the lower chakras, depending on what the activity is that you're doing. For example, if you're having sex, it's probably more in your base or your sacral. If you're creating something, it's probably more in your third eye or your crown. But just notice where the energy is, and then bring that up and down throughout your chakras, focusing the energy within your heart and allowing all of that magnificent, beautiful energy and juice and yumminess and all that stuff that's going on to just help you to expand your heart even further, knowing that this activity has nothing to do with anyone else or even with the activity that you're presently partaking in. It has to do with the connection between you and the divine, between you and universal consciousness, whether you want to call that Christ or God or whatever it is that you name it. A rose by any other name would still smell as sweet. So you just use the words that you use to describe that for you. But that is where the love is, and that is where all of the healing is. The other aspect to this is that you can actually take those times where you are in deep sadness, the grief, the shame, the guilt, all the stuff that I know a lot of people have been going through the last few weeks with the lunar eclipse and all the stuff that's been going on in April. This has been affecting everyone, whether you are someone who is conscious of this or not. This is a hugely powerful time right now in history, and it's affecting all of us on some level. So it feels a little bit like a roller coaster, and the ups are amazing and the downs are fucked up. They're really, really, really deeply down. Here's what I'm asking you to do. When you are so down and you feel like you can't go on, that there's a pattern that's been going on and it's just re-emerging and it's there again and again and again, I want you to notice that, and I want you to recognize that you are probably living in your head. You're allowing your thoughts and you're allowing your mind to take over your whole body, and you're allowing it to bring that anxious feeling or however it manifests within you and take away and destroy the love. So what I want you to do is I want you to notice that, just have the awareness that you're actually in your head. Bring yourself back down to your heart, however you can do that, whatever you need to imagine for that to be happening, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through imagining your baby in your arms, your child, your pets, being in nature, whatever it is. Bring yourself back to that place. It's not going to feel as good as when you're having an actual orgasm or partaking in a beautiful activity, obviously. But it's going to bring you back to your center. It's going to bring you back to your zen, and it's going to allow healing to occur. And in that moment, what I want you to do is I want you to witness the grief, the sadness, the guilt, the whatever that stuff is, and step away from it. Notice it almost like you're watching a movie screen. And imagine that it's happening to someone else. Imagine that you're having a conversation with one of your best friends, someone that you love dearly. And imagine yourself saying to them, "This is okay. You're going to get through this. I know this feels awful right now. Feel my love. Place your hand on your heart. It's going to be okay." And just allow yourself to remember that this too shall pass. So I hope that this gives you some sense of security, or it gives you some warmth, it gives you some loving feeling. It helps to make your beautiful loving times even more loving, and it helps to take those times that are grief-stricken and sadness and awful just a little bit less awful. Sending my absolute most beautiful love to everyone out there. I'm holding a rose quartz right now, so if you want to connect even deeper to your heart chakra and you are someone who loves crystals, I would recommend that you go out and buy a rose quartz or anything green, because as we know, green and pink is related to your heart chakra. If you're not someone who uses crystals and doesn't identify with them, also absolutely fine. There is no wrong or right. Lots of love. Look forward to talking to you soon, and please share this video as well. Mwah.